So in October 2021, Palantir launched their Foundry for Crypto platform, and there was a few articles that were released about it, talking about some of the potential that it could bring for Palantir and some value that could be brought to Palantir's bottom line as a result of this move. But since then, there has not been that much information released about it. So I decided to do a little bit of digging, and this is as deep a dive into the Foundry for Crypto platform as I could compile given the amount of information that's actually available. So aside from a couple of tweets and a 30-second video that Palantir posted to their YouTube channel, the most information that you can find about it directly is on their website, where they have a page dedicated to the Foundry for Crypto platform. And here you can have a pretty bare bones idea of what the services that they might be providing will be. And the first advertising tagline on that website is "Secure your exchange without losing your advantage." And I'm going to come back to this in a couple of minutes because I think this gives a little bit of a hint in terms of what types of clients Palantir hopes to sign with this new product offering that they have. But it's not necessarily all about crypto exchanges. And in general terms, Palantir is suggesting that there's 4 different buckets of things that the Foundry for Crypto software offering could do. The first one is related to anti-money laundering. So that's looking at blockchains and preventing people that operate in sort of the dark web or in dark markets from actually accessing crypto exchanges and from being able to launder their money and to access the proceeds of their crime. Another bucket of activity is the fraud detection. And the idea with this use case is, of course, to prevent scams and fraud and other types of improper activities that aren't necessarily related to money laundering. And those first 2 pieces relate to what's generally known as KYC and AML, or Know Your Client and Anti-Money Laundering. And so crypto exchanges and other major crypto companies have to make sure that they're verifying identities of people that use their platforms to make sure that, they're not dealing in black market or illicit goods, or that they're not committing scams and fraud and other types of nefarious activities. But these next 2 buckets of potential use cases for Foundry for Crypto is where it gets even more interesting and where I think there could be some serious potential. So the third thing that we're talking about here is DApp, which stands for Decentralized App Business Intelligence. And they go on to talk about how Foundry for Crypto allows Web3 startups to build complex workflows on top of DApp metadata. So dApps are what are essentially programs or applications that are built on blockchains like Ethereum. And the idea here is that you could use Foundry for Crypto to actually code and create these applications and then take advantage of the massive amounts of data that underpin them. And then the next point here is cross-chain analytics. So Foundry for Crypto is marketing itself as blockchain agnostic, meaning that it could work with and operate on Ethereum as well as any of the other blockchains that are out there, including Bitcoin or the other smart contract enabled L1s like Solana, Avalanche, etc., etc., etc. And the exciting point about these last 2 potential use cases of Foundry for Crypto is that there's an increasingly complex web of builders that are actually creating interesting things upon blockchains directly. And as that ecosystem and community begins to expand even further over the next couple of years, then there is potentially a huge emerging market opportunity. And Palantir seems to be positioning itself as one of the first major players in the AI data analytics space to actually lend a product specifically suited for that purpose. So there's definitely some interesting upside potential there. Now, aside what you can find directly on Palantir's website there's not actually that much more information about what Foundry for Crypto is actually doing, if they have any clients, and what the value prop is in real life, because obviously that's kind of an advertisement and maybe slightly more theoretical. It's not necessarily indicating that all those things are happening. So for instance, if you look at this Yahoo Finance article, there's really not that much useful information in here. All they're saying basically is just that Foundry for Crypto has launched and it could be a good opportunity. And it's the same with this CoinDesk article and some other pieces of information out there. So what I tried to do actually was to reach out directly to Palantir's investor relations folks to see if they would actually provide me with any additional information about what these products and services are actually going to do and if they've actually signed up any clients to them. So I just sent a quick email saying that I'm seeking additional information on the Foundry for Crypto platform, and that aside from the brief overview of what was provided on the website, do they have any more detailed explanations of what the product is and what the use cases will be? And also, of course, I wanted to know if Palantir has actually signed any clients to this product since it was launched, because that was approximately 6 months ago, give or take, and we haven't really heard much since. But unfortunately, Palantir's investor relations people did not respond to my email, which was sent over a week ago, so I'm not optimistic that they're going to give me any additional information. However, I did start thinking about what the potential clients for Palantir Foundry for Crypto could be. And I don't think that they would launch it publicly with a little bit of fanfare and post about it on all their social media accounts if they didn't already have some clients using Foundry for crypto-related purposes, or if they didn't at least already have some serious potential clients. And in the US, there's a number of massive crypto exchanges that seem like they could be likely candidates for this type of software. So I'm thinking, Coinbase, Gemini, FTX, Kraken, or any of the other ones out there. And if you recall, about 7 months ago, Ether Square posted on the Palantir subreddit where he shared some of his due diligence that he had actually found a way to check if certain companies actually have a web page set up on Palantir Foundry. Of course, if they're using code names, then this strategy doesn't work. But I thought I would see if any of the major, US crypto exchanges like Gemini, FTX, Coinbase, etc., actually have subdomains set up for Palantir Foundry. And what I found was that actually, no, they do not, unless of course they are using code names. But you can see here that this one is the Gemini subdomain if it existed, but it doesn't. And if I replace Gemini with, for instance, Coinbase, still no results. Or if I replace Coinbase with FTX, still no results. That said, this doesn't necessarily mean that none of these crypto exchanges are working with Palantir or thinking about working with Palantir. And it seems like a logical target for Palantir with their Foundry for Crypto software to try and sign up at least one of the major US crypto exchanges, because they seem like the ideal potential client, especially for the know your client and anti-money laundering part of the software. And honestly, with the size of the crypto market and the growing adoption rates in the US, but also around the world, there's definitely a major market opportunity there. And if Palantir can position themselves as the main service provider for these KYC or AML services with the crypto exchanges, then that could be a launching off point for a very big industry. Now, aside from the crypto exchanges though, there's definitely a world of other potential clients of Foundry for Crypto. And actually, just today, Palantir shared this interview with the CEO of this company, Elementus.io, which is a blockchain analytics firm, and they are actually using Palantir Foundry. This company, Elementus.io, is using data analytics to actually verify who's making what transactions on the blockchain, and they're blockchain agnostic, same as Foundry for Crypto, meaning that they're not necessarily limited to Ethereum or Bitcoin, etc. They can generate meaningful insights from these massive amounts of data that would be pretty much incomprehensible to a single human being without the assistance of some sort of AI-powered software, and they're using Foundry for Builders or Foundry for Crypto to provide those insights. Anyway, so that's all I have on Foundry for Crypto today. It's still a little bit of a black box. There's definitely some major unknowns, and I would really like to see if Palantir is actually signing up new clients to this, because they launched it, 6 months ago, and we haven't really heard much since. And I would really love to know what they think the size of the potential market is, because we've talked about Palantir's total addressable market before on the channel, and it's been continually expanding as they grow and offer their products and services into different markets. Well, the crypto market is definitely one of those, and it's a very rapidly emerging and expanding market, so this could be a major piece of the puzzle when it comes to delivering value to Palantir shareholders at some point on down the road. Anyways, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, you might also like this one or this one. See you later and have a great day.